Hey, I'm Decathlon Gamer, and this is the Road to the Record, where I work to achieve mastery of 10 games in a hunt for the best score of the Decathlon. If you like what you see, remember to hit that like button, and if you want to see more, hit subscribe. Let the games begin. This is Pro Cycling Manager, and we are in week number 12. It's a lower league manager series based on the Pro Cyclist mode of this game, where I am Decathlon Gamer, a solo racer, working up through the ranks as a 19-year-old kid, stage racer specialist, and I'm in the middle of stage 4 of a race that I am in the top 10 on. And if you look at the stage profile at the bottom of the screen, you'll see that we are approaching 2 steep climbs. Not terribly long, but 2 steep climbs coming up. And start slowing things down here. We are in contention for this race, though we are not seen as a favorite for the top 10. We've got to get over these 2 climbs in one piece.
Putting the squeeze on the breakaway.
If we do, we stand a good chance of holding on to our position and possibly moving into top 5 or even top 3 at the end of this stage, as a lot of riders will be left behind on these climbs that are just about to begin. There we go. We're starting to see a rise as we head out of town. We're going to turn this corner here, and things are going to get a whole lot steeper. Over the bridge. And away we go. Alright, now, our race day conditions a little bit low, but not hurting our climbing ability. However, we're stronger at time trialing right now than we are at climbing, so this is really not our forte. Our shield from the wind is already done. He's wasted. What I should be doing here, how far back are you? I should get you to protect me. I am seen as the team leader.
The riders are in a portion above 10%.
Oh, I can't assign you to that. Can I? No. I cannot. I don't get to choose that. Alright, well, we are right at the front. The breakaway group was 12 minutes ahead at one point. I did assign somebody onto the front for a while. They cut that lead down to about 5 minutes relatively quick. And then we were able to get back on track from there. Now, the field actually completely split up into about 3, 4, 5 different groups for a little while. And that's actually when I started to put that pressure on. The reason for that was heavy winds today. Broke the field up. I was going to try to take advantage of that and keep it down. We had a group of less than 30, and my entire team was in that group. That would have been a perfect time to really turn on the heat. But by time my guy that I assigned to get to the front, by the time he did get to the front, he was already, the first couple groups had already caught up to us. So by the time he got up there and was able to start turning the screw, it did not matter anymore. Alright, so we are now in an elite group for the first time. There's only one rider left from the breakaway up there, and we are nearly over the big climb of the day. We go back up over it again here in a little bit, but we don't go all the way down. So we get a little bit of break here, a little bit of recovery, and then we go back up and over. Now, our energy, though, is just about gone, but we're just about to reach the top here in just a moment, and there's only 10 riders left here. So if we can recover here on the way down, there we go, we're cooling off, but there we go, recovery is beginning, so we are not getting dropped from this group. If we can recover before the top, and now we're starting to recover, here we go, this is the main one, we need to recover a bit so we can get up the other side. So we're looking strong right now in the top 10 racers, but just hanging on to that. So I don't think we're in much contention to be a winner today, but we're looking pretty good for a top 10 finish. This being the only climbing really of this entire race, as the rest of it is all flat. So we were actually able to get ourselves into that top 10 position on the flat, on sprint stages. And we are no sprinter. No, sir, we are not a sprinter. All right, we are pretty well recovered. We're going to race that a little bit harder this time, but again, we're not out to push. We're not going to break away from these guys. We just want to hang with the group. One more rider was dropped on the descent, surprisingly enough, but clearly they had no energy at all, so they weren't able to recover. But here we are on the climb, not pushing as hard as before, so we are, our heart rate is holding, which means we are not losing that energy right now. So as long as this is the case, we're going to be in pretty good shape here. And the gap to us and those behind is enough that I'm pretty sure this group of 9 riders, are secure. We're almost halfway back up this climb. And there comes the push, there comes the attack, and we just want to hold our position in the group. If 1 or 2 riders get away, that's okay. They'll go off to become the race winners, but we are not that dominant yet. We are just trying to hang out in place, getting close to the top here, and no, they are not getting away. They burned a lot of energy to try to do so. Yes, we have slipped back in the group a little bit, and our energy is getting close to low, but we're also very close to the top. So if that push ends, there you go, it did. We are actually recovering some energy right now, and we are still staying here in the group. I like our chances at the end. There's that one spiky little punch you can see just before the end. That would be the place to get away if we're able to stay with the group and recover on the downhill. There you are. We are number 2 over the climb, and look at that. Mountain standings, we're actually already 6th place, even though we've done nothing to try to go after any points. Right now we're out of water, so we need water on the way down here. Now's a good time to get it while we're in recovery. And we've done it. We are in the group of 9 for the end of this race. Don't get ourselves dropped just getting water. Alright, and they are pushing on the downhill, so we've got to keep up. But it's still lower in the heart rate. Alright, let's just go to 99. We'll get our position here. So we are racing hard down this hill. Nobody is taking it easy. Others are getting water as well. We've got at least 30 seconds to a small handful of riders behind us. There's a chance they still might catch us, but at 99, that means we are racing hard. Look at that. I'm on 99, and at times it's blinking red, which means we're having trouble keeping pace, which would be because our downhill is only, well, today 65 with the race day condition. So we are not strong descenders. That is something I would very much like to improve, because I have broken away from groups on descents before, on previous games, not with this racer. Right, so we're approaching the end. We've got just 13K to go, and now we're hanging with the group. I have no reason to try to break away from them, except maybe on this punchy little short right before the end. But one rider has caught to us, so we have a group of 10. So I'm pretty much guaranteed a top 10 at this point.
Only 10 kilometers left.
And I might be able to just get away from these guys right here at the end with a brief sprint. Looks like that's going to be about 5K to go when we hit that sprint. If we can break away on that little climb, we might be able to win this thing. Alright, we are coming up on it. Not yet, but here it comes. Right around this corner, maybe? Yes, here it is. Alright, I'm gonna start
There
pushing.
are just 5 kilometers left.
And right through these gates. Oh, and it's cobbles.
This climb is feared by many riders. The percentages are very high. And they keep on attacking. Anyone that's low on gas definitely won't be able to keep up.
Alright, 3 of us are away. But we used up our energy on that little climb. And no, we did not get away. 9 riders. We dropped 1 is all. So we're riding through this castle to the end. We got 2K to go. There is no ability to push just yet anymore, but we've got a little bit to sprint. A
There
little
we go.
bit. Here we
The
go.
sprint
Sprint.
is on. The riders are
Sprinting is
setting themselves
on.
up.
We might get second here or third. We are no
He
sprinter.
really had to fight for that one.
We held
A
on for
great
third, so we
sprint
got
finish.
a podium. So at least we got that.
We're
Looks
waiting
like
for the back
9
markers
riders
who appear to be
crossed the
fairly
line at the
numerous in
same
this
time.
difficult race.
We should pick up a little bit of time bonus here, and we could easily find ourselves in, say, third overall. I don't know what time any of those guys were at, but stragglers are already starting to come across, and the field is pretty well spread out. So there was only 20 seconds between first place and my 7th overall in the standings that I was going into this, and all of those 6 were all time bonuses, and I didn't have any time bonuses. I was just the highest average finisher that had never picked up any time bonus. Alright, well, here comes the rest of the field crossing the line. They are definitely spread out, so our 2 climbs did decimate the field. And we did
just in
get
case you
ourselves
missed them,
into that
here
final
are the
group
race highlights.
of 9 riders. That's us in the polka dots right at the front, but of course we are out sprinted to the line as we have 0 sprinting capability, but we managed to grab a 3rd place on the day. And let's go see what we have in results. We're not going to watch the podium. Let's just see where we're at. Okay, so Honkies was the stage winner. We had a minute from 10th place on back and more. So yes, these 9 are definitely going to be the top 9 now, unless any of them happen to be behind on time before. So Menu held on. Honkies won the stage today. So we move up to 4th place, just missing the podium. But look at that. There you go. Looks like 8 of the 9 had been in that main group within about 20 seconds of each other. It looked like Honkies might have had a couple seconds worth of time bonus already. And it looks like there were 1, 2, 3, 4 of the riders that were among the 6 that had been ahead of me before in the standings that had time bonuses of some sort. Or not. He might have been the one who just finished 2nd. Is he? Yes. Okay, so he had no time bonus. But he had. Because you got a 10-second time bonus. He already had 6 seconds worth of time bonus. Alright, well, anyway, great finish there. We go from leader outsider to 4th overall with 1 flat stage, relatively flat stage. It's a little bit up and down, but we should have no problem getting over it. And if it's on that little bit up and down, it's probably not going to be as windy as the last couple of stages have been. We're also 3rd place in the sprint standings, and without even trying, 6th place in the mountain climbing, and 2nd on the young rider standings. Our team, Jelly Belly, moved up to 5th. Alright, well, top 4, when we're expected to be top 15, is now exceptional. 3rd on the stage is excellent. Manager satisfaction, natural decay dropped to 99%, or that could have been that we signed with another team, had dropped a little bit, but only to 96%, and we got 3 back, and we're more than halfway through level 11 now. Our focus has changed from time trial to climbing, so we're going to start working on our climbing. And you could see from that effort there, those 2 relatively easy climbs, we just hung on to the group. And that short little punchy climb with 5K to go did not get us away from the rest of the group. So we definitely do have some work to do. Alright, looks like we do have an event coming up with a contract to offer. We're going to have to see. Looks like from the mail, it looks like Caja Rural was looking to sign us, but we've already signed a contract. Alright, so here we go. Last stage. It is seen as a sprint stage. There are numerous small punchy climbs on this one, so certainly not the whole field will be making it to the end, and it's possible that we will not ourselves. Our race day condition continues to be a little bit low. We are close to full peak fitness, but we have quite a bit of fatigue, and that's what's lowering our race day condition. We've had quite a few races here in the last few weeks, and that's the main cause of that fatigue. And going into it, we actually trained really hard. So we had some fatigue coming in to these weeks of competition, and then we've been racing hard through these weeks of competition. We had one stage win, and we've had a second place on a stage. We've had now a third place on a stage, and numerous top tens. So it's only Continental Division.
Hello and welcome.
But here,
today's
from the
terrain
midpoint
is fairly
of the season
level,
on,
so it's
we're finding
ideal
ourselves
ground for those who are
fairly
good on the
competitive,
flat.
when we were just barely squeaking top 20s or top 25s at the beginning of the year. All right, so they still see us as leader outsider, even though we are fourth place in the standings. A few less riders working for us today. In fact, no official teammates of any kind. But Barador is essentially a teammate. So, all right, I'm gonna get myself towards the front. Because we are second in the young rider standings, and the leader of the overall race is first in the overall standings and first in the young rider competition. We are borrowing the jersey today, so we are in white. Alright, well, we do have support to the front, so we are not going to be left alone for this final stage to hang on to our fourth place. I think there's no chance that we're going to move up at all, but we've got to make sure that we have enough to get to the end of this race. Here's already the first climb. It's nothing too serious. But we do have that handful of short climbs coming up. Nothing for a while, so we are definitely going to speed along until things start to get interesting and riders start to get dropped. At this point, we have 104 riders in Peloton. Our race day condition is a -2. Our climbing has taken a -2 hit. Our stamina, resistance have both taken -4 hits. Our downhill's got a -2 hit. So we are definitely not feeling too well today. That fatigue is playing a role. We are definitely tired. There was the finish line, but we turned away from it. Head back off into farmland. And we're approaching that halfway mark where we start hitting all these climbs again. Again, they're all pretty short though. Here's the first. And we're up. No problems here. Barry has gone off into the breakaway among those 8 riders who are just 4 minutes ahead, so they've got pretty much no chance of winning, as they've not been given much of a leash at all. In fact, they're already back down to 3.5 minutes. Alright, you're definitely past halfway now. We are 75k from the finish. And here come the highest elevation that we're going to reach. And technically 2 climbs. And we're on our way up, but they're pretty gradual, so not a big deal. We do slip back a little bit on that first climb, but we're saving plenty of energy in just slipping a little bit. And we get back up to the front by the second climb to that highest point on the day. We were right there near the front of the main group, and now you can start to see the group is becoming much smaller. We're down to 85 riders in the peloton, and only 7 of the original breakaway remain off front. So things are definitely getting split up here. Here comes the last climb of the day. Other than a couple small hills towards the finish line, and we are looking just fine. Let's go ahead and speed up my effort to make sure we stay near the front. Ooh, and here you go. The field is getting split. That's not us. Where? There All right, well, we've made it over the top. Group shrunk a little bit further, 75 riders at this point, and groups off the front are all split up and probably exhausted, so we're going to have no problem catching up to them. Barry, who was off the front, is actually off the back now, so he's among those who didn't hang with the front group. Of course, he had a race day condition of -4, so no surprise
The
that
pack's
he
deficit
struggled.
is being cut back. Some team
Here's the
managers
steepest
mustn't
climb
appreciate
of
the
the
fact
rest
that there
of
is
the
a
day
breakaway,
right now.
given that the pack has increased
We're
its
having
speed.
no issues,
There are
so
just
we are
15
definitely going
kilometers
to be
left.
in the front at the end, and I don't see why we can't get a top 10 like we have all race long in the sprint. 2 riders remain off the front, and the group
There are
just
just 10 kilometers left.
fell apart there for a second. We were down to 30 riders, but it's back up to 76. It'd be nice if we get down to just 30 and we can't maybe get one of those top 3 finish, but I don't see why that would happen. I see the yellow jersey just behind us, so he's obviously not going anywhere.
We're into the last 5 kilometers. The pack is back on level
right.
terms with the breakaway
Slow
crew.
things down. We have under 4K to go. We're about to hit 3K. We're going to use our energy gel, and we're going to push this up. And ooh, look at these guys trying to take off here. Okay, under 2K to go. We are
And
in
there goes
push
the mad
mode.
burst for the final
We've
sprint.
already used up most of our power for sprint, so I'm not sprinting yet. Now we're going to
It's
sprint
survival
just
of
for
the fittest,
the end.
and evolution doesn't seem to favor those in the rear. There's a growing list of riders left behind. He dug deep inside himself to earn this victory.
Okay, so yeah, we're not getting anything here, but at least we'll finish near the front, just outside the top 10. 13th overall. This was actually our lowest finish of the entire 5-stage race.
The race is
But we
run, but the
finished with the
poor
main
souls
group,
bringing
and
up
it
the
looks
rear
like just
continue to cross the
53
line.
riders
It's a
are
bit of a
left
knock
in
for
that
the
group.
morale.
David Menu is the race winner. He's held on. He's 9th overall. I don't see Petersky. There you go.
And here are a few of the key
17th,
moments.
so he didn't go anywhere. All right, well, 13th on the stage. Our teammate Sheldon got 12th, I mean, and we held our spot, 4th place for this race. So not a bad finish, not bad at all. We'll take 4th place. We are not yet a stage racer that we will be. Again, we're only 19 years old right now. All right, manager is very satisfied. Our progression jumps from that 4th overall in the final standings. That was exceptional, according to the boss. 4th in point standings was very good. 2nd in youth standings was excellent. So we are up to 100%. And here's that contract offer. Cajaral is looking for us to join them. I'm kind of surprised that I have a contract offer after already signing. Oh, hey, there's the team currently. Yeah, there's an unsolicited offer. Interesting. It's a new feature this year. Did not get that in years past. All right, well, let's take a look at the schedule real quick. We have 2 more one-day races coming up, and that's Minsk, which is totally flat, and the Delta Road Race, which is totally flat. So we're not going to be in any contention for those. We'll be lucky to get a top 10 just based on positioning and having energy at the end, but the sprinters will obviously ride right on by us. And the last one of the month, after a nice couple weeks off where we'll have a chance to recover a bit, does end with a couple small peaks that will shrink the field down. I've actually won a couple of those that course. I've won that course before. There's a few different races that use that same course with those little punchy climbs at the end. I have broken away on those and won it before, but I don't think we're a strong enough climber to do that yet this year. So it looks like we're going to be wrapping up the month, and I'll probably see you again in August. But we are making progress. And speaking of progress, let's go ahead and check results and see the standings. We should have picked up some points in Super Prestige. I don't care about the Continental standings, but we are looking at individual. Fabio Aru is still on top of the Super Prestige, and he's obviously on the World Tour rankings, and there we are. We have moved up quite a bit, 48 spots. We now have 90 points on the year. So when dividing that by 5, we have 18 overall for my Decathlon gaming competition. 10 games, 1,000 points. 10,000 is the maximum. The world record is 9,045. And for this game, 18 points. Got a long ways to go. But we are a victim of being in the Continental competition. We've signed a contract for next year. This will be the last thing we look at here before we wrap up this episode. We've signed up to join the Wanty Gobert group, so we are heading to Belgium next year at the Continental Pro level, where we are going to have an opportunity to earn a whole lot more in terms of Super Prestige points, and it was a 2-year contract. Now, next year, we're going to spend a lot of time working as a teammate and building up our overall abilities. And I would imagine by the second year of that contract, we will probably be the team leader most races. And that will give us that chance to really start boosting our profile and earning a lot of Super Prestige. Because this year, despite our successes, like the 4th place we just got, we're just not picking up a whole lot of points in doing that because they're Continental races. They're just not valued that high. But we are doing well. We're getting better. We are now 2nd best on our team. You look at our attributes. We're there. And time trialing is definitely decent. But we have not built up anything else yet. So we've got a ways to go before our specialty is going to emerge. The only we have got, there you go, sprinting 54, 56, which are actually one higher than that. Our condition's a little bit low right now. We're not at peak fitness, and we are tired. But that's what happens when you are 19 and just coming along. You look, we are by far the youngest on the team. We've got one 21-year-old, one 23-year-old. Everybody else is 25 plus. All right, well, we're coming along. Again, I'll see you in August by the time we begin our next episode, as we got a few one-day races and some time off coming up for our rider. So hopefully that fatigue will go away and our race condition will be better when we begin the August race schedule. So that does it for this episode. I'm Decathlon Gamer, and remember, I'm aiming for the best of the best. So if you're ready to join me on my journey, hit subscribe and tune in next time on my road to the record.